Kia ora, good morning. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling start to your Magic Monday. I'm Helen Brahms coming to you live from Yuma in Arizona. It is just a absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous morning. We have just got back from an invigorating walk. Unfortunately, Zephy couldn't get off the leash to run because we have no dog park area, just a great big walking area, and it's massive. If they had just put fences on either end, it would be perfect. But today is all about Magic Monday, and I know that I am in a different place because my sinuses have suddenly decided it's time to clear out all that crap that you've been breathing for the last 5.5 months. Which is awesome because had a really, really good night's sleep, woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, and I was like, I am not getting back to sleep. So I just laid in bed, read for a little bit, and then got up and had breakfast, showered, got dressed, and then took Ziffy for her walk, and we just got back, and I feel amazing, especially after I finished. Well, there's actually two things that happened. So last night, I always do journaling at night before I go to bed. Well, not always. I have started this year doing journaling before I go to bed. So we're now into, what is it, the 15th, 16th, 17th, 15th of March. So since the 1st of January, I've been journaling every night before I go to bed as part of my nightly ritual. And it's amazing what you sit down and write about at times, because there's times I just let the pen write. I call it subconscious writing because I have no idea what's going to come out of the pen because it's coming from the subconscious, not from the conscious mind. And it's amazing the things that come out. And so, if you've been watching, you know that I've been listening to the Aladdin Factor by Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen. Great audio. I mean, the audio is fantastic. The book is amazing. I'm way behind in the book as to where I am with the audio. The audio, I've got like, I think it's like an hour and a bit left, and the book, I've got most of it left. But because they're not reading the book, they're actually having this conversation. They're following the outline of the book on the audio, but they're doing it in a slightly different way. They use some of the stories that they put in the book, but it's very interesting listening to them. And one thing that's stuck in my mind is that there's one question you should always ask yourself is, what do you really, really want? And this has been playing in my head for the last few days. And so last night I sat down the journal and I started writing out what I really, really wanted, and was quite specific in detail. And the more specific you can be, the better chance it has with for the subconscious to be able to work on it. And so I wrote out this whole, I think it was like 4 pages or something, I don't know. But I wrote out this whole bunch of stuff. And at the end of it, I read it back and I was like, wow, that's what I really, really want. Wow, that's amazing. Then this morning, I picked up my Monday Mindset, which I love reading on a Monday. I'm on to week 5. So I've been reading it for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Today's week 5. And I was reading about it, and it's about the lamp that leads is this week's title. It does have a Christian theme through it, so there are Bible verses and things in there. So if that's not your cup of tea, that's okay. And I turned the page and started reading, and I was like, this is basically what I wrote down last night that I wanted. It was sort of like, that is so, and I'm just sort of like, wow, 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 wow. So that was kind of like mind blowing. I love it when things like that happen, when the subconscious is working on something and it tells you what it's working on. And then you go and get some confirmation by reading something, by having a discussion, by somebody starting to talk to you about that topic. You hear somebody talking about that topic. It's just more confirmation that you're on the right path for what it is that you really, really want. And of course, is it the Spice Girls that sing that song? What do you want? Do you really, really want? Yeah, I think it's the Spice Girls that sing that song, isn't it? Because that song goes through my head like crazy when I'm thinking on this question. But the question that I have for you today is, well, I've got 2 questions for you. The first one is, where is your focus? Where is your focus right now? What are you focusing on? Because whatever you are focusing on is where your energy flows. So if you're focusing on the negative, where's your energy going to flow? If you're focusing on the positive, where's your energy going to flow? So start really being conscious of what it is that you are focusing on to make sure that it is in alignment with what you really, really, really want. And take time to sit down and write. And that's my second question. What is it that you really, really, really want? Sit down, write about it in detail. Get as much detail as possible. I actually have to send a text message to my car broker, my auto broker today, because he's busy looking for a car for me that I can tow behind Sparkles. And I suddenly, 2 nights ago, I was writing about this car called Bluebird. And so I'm not sure if the car's already called Bluebird or whether I'm going to be calling it Bluebird. But I need to let him know that Bluebird's out there and what the price is that got written down in the journal, which was all, again, subconscious writing. So it's just kind of interesting. So it's interesting to see what he comes back with on that one. So yeah, and then the other thing that goes along with all of this, with where you're focusing, what are you focusing on, and what are you inputting? Is what you're inputting in relation to what you're focusing on, or is it completely different? And inputting, it could be, what are you putting into your body as far as food and drink goes, but not just the body. What are you putting into your mind? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching? What else have I got down here? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And all of this has an impact on your eyes, because did you know that your eyes is like a lamp that provides light for your body? When your eye is healthy, your whole body is filled with light. Isn't that cool? So your eye is like a lamp that provides light for your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body is filled with light. So what are you inputting through your eyes? Your eyes become your lamp in the dark. So, there's power. There is really, truly is power in questions. What questions are you asking yourself? And the first question you should be asking yourself is, what do I really, really want? So, and then when you figure out what you really, really want, look at, what am I inputting into my body? And not just food and drink wise, mental wise. What am I reading? What am I watching? Who am I listening to? What type of music am I listening? And it does come down to the type of music that you listen to as well. There are some songs I really, really like because I love the lyrics and the meaning behind the lyrics, or my interpretation of the meaning behind the lyrics. So I love those songs, even if somebody tells me, oh, that's not what that song's about. It is what that song means to me with the lyrics. And every time I get into a sticky situation or something like that, and I think it's a big problem, all I hear is Carrie Underwood's talking about, that problem, that mountain you've been climbing is just a grain of sand. And I'm sort of like, okay, is this really a mountain? And so when I find myself looking at an obstacle and I'm like starting to get frustrated, I take a deep breath and I think, am I climbing a mountain or a grain of sand? Trying to get the perspective on things. And then I start asking other questions about that mountain, or is it a grain of sand? And start asking the other questions to help me qualify that. So what questions are you asking yourself? What things are you asking of yourself? What are you inputting? What are you inputting with what you're reading, with what you're listening to, with what you're watching? It makes a big, big impact. This is why I don't have TV. I only watch stuff on, I only stream stuff through Prime, and I've got my DVDs that I watch. And that is one of the reasons I do that, because of I got fed up of all the negativity that got fed to me, and all the commercials. Oh my gosh, the commercials drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. But there were some, I will have to admit, there are some good commercials out there. I used to love watching the commercials during Super Bowl. Brad would sit there and watch Super Bowl. If I was sort of like, not really into this game, I'd sit there and read, but I'd pay attention to the commercials, because sometimes there were some years they had some amazing commercials coming out. And I still don't remember which beer it was for, but I think it was a lobster. Decided it was going to escape from a restaurant, and it held a 6-pack of beer that was its hostage. And they were trying to get this lobster, and he's like, with his other claw. He's got one claw on the bear as he's dragging it out backwards. Or it might have been a crab. It was either a crab or a lobster, and it's backing out with its claw going like this as it's dragging away the bear. And they were like, no, 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 don't, let him go, let him go, let him go. We don't want to hurt whatever the bear was. But I also like the Budweiser commercials. I loved the message with the Clydesdales that they had in there. Some of those are really, really cool. And I didn't care, and you didn't see a bottle of beer in there. It was just at the end when the beer symbol came up. But those commercials to me were just like, they were really cool with the Clydesdales, and then later the puppy that they got. And they had some amazing commercials in there with like the when they were playing football and stuff. You had the Foles playing, and then the big guys came in, and they just have some really great commercials and things. So yes, there are some out there that I enjoyed watching, but then I got to the point where everything was just turning me off. I didn't want to watch TV because of the commercials. even when I DVR'd stuff, I had to fast forward through a commercial. I'm like, I'm done with this. And so when it came time to move into the RV, I was not getting cable in the RV. I was not getting satellite in the RV. I have 2 satellite dishes on top. They've never been up, as far as I know. They've never been up with me. It's really funny when the check-in thing, they put out the brochure in front of you and go, this is where your site is, and this is, and here's your channel listings. And I'm sort of like, I don't need those. Do you need a cable box? I'm like, no, thank you. And I get weird looks when I say no thank you. I say I don't watch TV. And I get some very strange looks. I watch my movies. I will binge watch on some TV shows. But, I'm try to be very conscious of what it is that I am inputting and what I read and what I watch, what I listen to. So, ask yourself, what are you inputting into your body? Not physically, not only physically, but mentally. And see where that comes. So that's the magic for today. It's power in the questions. What questions are you asking yourself? And how healthy is your eyes? And are they letting in enough light that your body that your body and your mind are at the optimum level? That's it from me for today. Have a super fantastic sparkling day, and we will catch you guys later this evening. Hei konera.